I'm a young black queen, loyalty in every G. All the sauce ain't talking lean. I'm average shorty staying mean, cause they jelly like a bean while I'm moving for that green. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, your fam, what's up, you guys? This is your girl Shiro back with another episode of Kenyan Pod, and this is episode 36, season 2, episode 6. And today I am joined by Pesh from Adaveli Podcast, or from the cleaning episode that we did. So make sure you guys, if you have not checked out Adaveli Podcast, you do so. And if you have not checked out the cleaning episode, definitely make sure you do so. October is here, Meshafika. Hey, time in Akimbia for real. But yeah, October is treating me well so far. So hopefully you guys are enjoying October as well. I know things are running, but make sure the victory bag is secure. So make sure you're doing that. Yeah, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for checking me out. Thank you for my YouTube listeners. Shout out to you guys who are on Apple Podcast, Apple Spotify and onward. Thank you guys for checking me out. If you don't know, if you make sure you are sharing this, make sure you're subscribing, make sure you are letting people know that Shiro is plugging and to check me out. And all they have to do is put it in their Googles. Just Google the girl Kenyan Plug Pod and you'll find Shiro. And hopefully you guys were enjoying the Sheng with She. I definitely love that whole spin-off because I hope you guys are enjoying Sheng with She. I know a lot of people are complaining about the shorts, how many words it was and how long it takes before the next lesson, but you guys hang tight. Hopefully I can get it to where I can drop more episodes per week. But for now, you guys enjoy. Hopefully you guys are letting other people know, especially people that are not familiar with Swahili language. It's definitely cool to let people know to check it out. Yes, so you guys, let's get into the show. And we are going to start it off with the meme of the week. Let me give my disclaimer. Excuse the audio. It's a little bit echoish this episode, but I'm experimenting with some equipment and other stuff, so please bear with me. And but the episode is of course going to be great because content is king or queen, and we definitely hold it down, so definitely check out the whole episode. So the meme of the week is definitely this Nipsey Hussle quote that was on Pesh's WhatsApp status, and I was like, yo, this actually really speaks. And it's basically saying that, if you look around at the people that you're hanging out with and there's nobody that's giving or adding to you, then basically you're in a cage, umejifunga hapo, you're stuck and you're not adding any value to who you are and who you're becoming. So it's very important to angalia, like, look at your circle and make sure it got tight. Now when you're hapo, the people that you have chosen, they have to be reflecting where you are trying to go and who you're trying to be, because utaki kukuwa na wase wenye wako na nini, wako na animosity, wako na jealousy, wako na static, because on a kasirika, like, people get upset when you are making advancements, when you're making moves. Antaka tu ukwe hapo stagnant in a cage. Unajua, in a cage huwezi move, you can only move but so much, you only have a little bit of room to make moves. And I think kuna like some friends that are really like upset uki start to make moves, and kuna wase wanataka updates, wanataka kuambiwa like, please let me know when you decide to evolve, when you decide to be better, when you decide to take interest in yourself. Unajua kuna watu that are like that. So if people are trying to put you in a box and you're bigger than a box, wachana now. And the people that are like, yeah, you can do everything, you can do anything, but this is where you are doing this and this is where you are doing that. Utaki my yes mans, utaki wase wanajaribu kusema tu like yes and hype you up, but you also want people that are with you and for you and can see your vision as well. Make sure your circle is tight and make sure you are paying attention to who you have around you, because those things matter, kabisa. They matter so much, especially when you're advancing in life. You want people that are with you, not against you. because maisha in itself is enough of things that are against you. And the Kenyan Excellence goes to the Tusker Oktoberfest that took place over the weekend. It was a 2-day festival with some dope Kenyan artists. It was the likes of Sauti Sol, Nyashinsky, Calligraph Jones, Fena, Ethic. I mean, so many people. Karen. It was just a big event with a good range of Kenyan artists. And I think the thing is that people used to say people are not going to pay to watch Kenyan artists. I think there's this idea they're not feeling Kenyan artists or Kenyan music, but such an event was, which it was the first of its kind. It was a great opportunity to show that people are going to pay for Kenyan artists. People are going to pay for Kenyan events. It's time for people to start thinking like people are really for Kenyan music and Kenyan events. So I think it's just good. And then it's Tusker, it's beer, it's Kenyans, it's just a good time. I think it's just like the ultimate Kenyan culture experience, and it was good. I think I saw very good responses. And as we get into the topic of the week, I'm going to be joined by Pesh.
So hi guys, this is Pesh, co-host of the Advent Podcast, the #1 Kenyan music podcast.
A very interesting topic. It's about shadiness. About shadiness. So I think it's more so about like being selfish with yourself and not having a problem with that. And people usually confuse that with being shady because, they want you all to themselves. So, but Pesh can walk you through it a little bit.
Yes. Oh yeah, because I do think the difference between being shady and being good, like you can really be, but when you're being shady, you're being just a little bit selfish with yourself, with your energy, with everything that involves you around you.
Mm-hmm. And right now, when we are in like we're in the evolution phase, like we're in the transitional phase of our lives. In your like 20s, you start being like a little bit like when you turn like 23 and onward, you start realizing like it's me and myself, and I have to do this thing. So you get a little selfish.
There's a time where you just have to do that. You just have to decide, I'm tired of people stepping on me. I'm tired of people deciding for me. It's now time for me to believe in what I want to do and fight for it. Regardless of whoever I'm going to be fighting with, this is what I've decided, and I'm walking in that path. And nobody's going to stand there in my way.
That's the truth. That's the truth. There's no problem with that. I think we were taught like to always be considerate of others, and
True.
And then now.
And then you end up forgetting all about yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because nakwanga na this guilty conscience, like guilty conscience all the time. If you want to nyuma, if you do anything. Like if you're doing better than your friends and then you leave them behind, it's like, inakuanga problem.
True.
But the key is to understand that you have to make the sacrifices for yourself. And
you have to.
And the thing is, you can come back for the people. This is what I always say. If you don't understand that right now I have to go ahead and make my life, but you're not my friend. Especially friendships in a change when you start adulting. When you start getting into the adult life, your friendship, your version of friendship in a change, definition in a change.
In a sense, it's true.
Yeah. So Saidi, I can go like a week or two without texting my friend. Nasi atibaya, it's just like I'm busy. I'm doing stuff.
Yeah, you're doing stuff for yourself. That's not being rude. But at this time, is like you have to define when are you being shady and when are you being rude. Yeah.
It's a thin line.
It's a very thin line. When are you shady and when are you being rude?
Unajua ukijisikia to a certain degree, when you're doing better, of course utaanza kujisikia kidogo. That's just natural. So I think the tone ndio ina separate rudeness versus shade. Like sure, shady inaweza kuwa maneno mingi because shady, people think shady is a lot of things. Lakini if I'm just ducking your light, then I'm just being shady kidogo. It's not serious if you're. So I think tone ina change kila kitu. Like how you say things is what makes it rude.
Yeah.
So ukisema saizi right now I need all of my money to support my business, hiyo ni kitu ingine. Lakini kusema like I can't afford, siwezi kubabysit anymore, I can't keep taking care of you, then that's a problem. That's rudeness.
Yeah, that's totally being rude because before you get to that point of actually being rude, you start throwing some shit first, you throw shit first to defend yourself because the rudeness is on the way.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I'm talking about the times people can really be rude or just say something really unnecessary and you just thrown off and you're was that really necessary? You could have kept that, you could have held that, you didn't have to bring it up right now, or you could just never say it at all. So you just start by throwing shade and this person continues. Now the rudeness comes in,
Exactly. Yeah, because shadiness, when you're being shady, you know it. They try to act like, oh, I don't know, I didn't think I was being shady. Kila mtu anajua shadiness. But when you're feeling yourself being shady, that's the time for you to stop. And I think siku hizi kila mtu anajaribu kuwa real. They're trying to be so real. Wanasahau maana kukuwa like kukuwa na tact, to be tactful when you say things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
with saying things.
Sema tu whatever comes to your mind.
You just without thinking, but that's not being saying things without thinking it's being real. No, it's just being out of tune. Like you just have to say of your being real. No, you have to think about how you're going to relay that message.
Yes, that's a big deal. And I think that's the problem siku hizi. Watu wengi wana like that thing of being real. That should be that's the thin line kabisa. Sasa that's the thin line. Iyo kukua like to be real, like being real versus like being honest. Like being rude and being real. Those two things, they look the same. They look similar. Lakini moja is like no.
Happens to a person, or your friend got attacked, you just can't be going around telling them, you got because you're responsible, or I'm just better, and that got attacked, because of how of your outreach you got attacked because of that. You have to think about how you relate a message to somebody because this person has feelings and they have thoughts as well.
Yeah. They're people. They're human. If the same situation happened to you, you don't want someone to preach to you at that time. You just want someone to be your friend.
Yeah.
So I think it's timing. I think to lose the essence of timing. We don't know how to time, and we don't know how to be mindful of what we're saying. Because we just think that everything is going to be. It's like, this is me. If you can't handle it, then that's you. That's your problem. I think that's a lot of things that we say nowadays. Like, this is me. I can't change.
This is me. This is even the you have to accept how I am and stuff like that. you're just a toxic person.
Mm-hmm.
You're not thinking about not being mindful of the other person.
And I understand, Tikwezi, you don't have to care about other people. You don't, like, if you plan on becoming someone people respect, you do have to have some tact.
You know how it nowadays. People want to look good. People want to feel good. People want to get stuff out there that's top notch. You have to be like a full package. You got your hair done right. You got your nails done right. You got your outfit from things. Hey, what?
Jaribu kuvaa Balenciagas. Oh my goodness. This is too much.
Yeah, it's too much. If you can't if you keep up, you have to stay in your lane. Just move at your own pace. Hey, trying to fit it is really expensive,
It is. When you do your own thing, alafu you create your own style, that's way doper to me. That's cool. Like, like, if I don't have this, then like nobody can see me. I'm not coming out the house if I don't have these brands. See, you make your own clothes, you make your own style, alafu you move on.
Yes.
These days, they're always in competition. A lot of competition in social media. Ukiona mtu mwingine amepost this, you want to post that. Because you are the only one who knows your full potential. But
that's true.
When you're younger, you're very impressionable. So mtu akisema like you can't do it, you listen because this is my friend, they know me. Blah blah blah. So you have to be careful of those things.
Yeah, you really have to be careful about all of them because you have to pray for wisdom
every day. I think because we all have the syndrome of overthinking, we have that problem. So ukianza kuona mtu akitake off, when someone is taking off, unaanza kuogopa because you're like, man, this person is going to go on without me. What am I going to do? Najua watu wengi, they find their identities in their friends for some reason.
Yes.
So like when your friend is doing better and you're still confused about your identity, you start to feel, unaanza kukupa na heart attack because nafikiria mse ameenda without you. They're going without you.
Yes, because it's tempting to compare yourself with your friend who's doing better or who you feel is doing better than you. But you have to remember that it's a process and the process is the same. So you have to be willing enough to go through that process and learn what you thought it was the right thing in the first place in order to start to have an open mind, to have an open mind that's willing to learn other new things, to expose yourself to other new things. That way you're able to move without having to compare yourself with people who are getting ahead of you. Even though it's tempting, yes, to keep on looking at what they're doing, you have to trust the process. You have to accept that this process is really going to sieve out what's not necessary and keep what's necessary within you.
And the biggest part is that everyone's process is different. Everyone's journey is different. So,
yes,
things can happen for you now, and then other things can happen for other people later, or vice versa. You never know. So you just be patient. You keep on working on yourself. That's it.
Yeah, you have to believe in yourself. Sometimes you really just have to, that statement, believe in yourself. You have to make it. You have to do it literally.
That you have to meditate with. You have to sit down and you have to really think about it. Because Nikitu, unakwanga we know discouragement is something that happens to everyone. Because maisha inakupeleka, it's so crazy. Like, life can make you feel like you're small at times, or it can do a lot of things. But if you just remember, that I have a purpose which is big. I have a big purpose. I have things to accomplish. Niko na legacy that I'm trying to leave behind. You know, that's
yeah. You have all of those things. You believe in yourself more. You're in yourself. Evil is up, down, up, down, up, down. You have to decide which one is going to win. Which one is going to come out the winner.
Hiyo ni ukweli kabisa. And that's where I was saying that you have a struggle between yourself. Nyamanda, like you do have to get a little selfish because you have to fight. There's two people in you that you're trying to fight: the person that doubts themselves and the person that believes in themselves.
That believes, yes.
But that's a topic to Nazonge all day. But let's move to the Noma of the week. So Noma of what are you disliking the most, Pesh?
One problem that I have encountered this week, or something that has really annoyed me, is the tragedy at the Likoni ferry earlier on this week, where a woman and her girl, when they were in the car aboard a ferry, the vehicle veered it rolled off the ferry and submerged into the water. And up to today, that woman and her daughter their bodies have not been retrieved from Likoni, and it's so disheartening seeing that the family has gone to the extent of paying private divers in order to locate where the vehicle is, and seeing that there are no divers, that there are no professional divers in a whole sector. We have a navy, but there are no divers. What is that? What is that we are being told, that there are no divers? It's crazy. It's something that we cannot accept at all. It's something that I'm struggling to accept. Yet we are still a country that still, unemployment is high and there are no divers. What are you saying? That's an excuse that the government came out to give. Well, we have a whole navy. And there are no divers. That's just absurd.
Honestly, it is very sad. It's very saddening, because I'm just thinking about that family and all of the lengths that they're going to try to find someone to retrieve those, their family members. And people they're saying that they underestimated the waters and the people they're quitting. And I just feel like it just shows a flaw in so many things. And like Pesh is saying, people who are professional divers, they know how to handle these situations regardless of everything else. So I feel like, something has to give, something has to change. Prayers to the family, and hopefully during the course of this week something comes about. Moving to a lighter note, we are going to go into the heat of the week. So Kenya Mitubamba this week has to be go ahead, Pesh.
Something that I've really liked in the course of this week is the Doha Games, the athletics that are going on in Doha, Qatar. And yeah, Team Kenya is always raising the flag high, getting the medals. Both genders, the men and the women, have managed to clinch a medal and make Kenya proud. And of course, these races always manage to bring Kenyans together. Regardless of tribe, or regardless of who is running for us, regardless whether they've just begun, but the mere fact that they are here, or regardless of whether we know them or not, whether we know much information about them or not, we still manage to cheer them on because we want to see them winning. We want to see them doing us proud. It's amazing how these races always manage to bring Kenyans together. So yeah, the Doha Games in Qatar, congratulating everybody that has made our country proud so far. Yeah.
That's what I call a little bit of 254 drip. That's that extra sauce that we have. You know, Kenyans always killing it. Definitely great job. Yeah, thank you to Pesh for doing a great job as well, being on the show, giving me good conversation. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Can't wait to have her back on the show again. And you guys make sure you tune in tomorrow for Sheng with She to hear this great Sheng lesson that's going down by Pesh. Shout out to you, Pesh, for doing that as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, you guys catch me again next Monday with a new one. Have a good week. Tudongea.
Skadini, run a lap and pass it. This relay we winning. Toka kijiko, we crushing haters. Komba mwiko, how mafala, how wasongi buda cheki kwenye niko tuna.
Take, talk.